Nothing happens in rep 1. Everything happens in rep 9. The first 6 are transport, they don't do anything to you. You have to get through them to arrive at the actual work. Everybody wants let's start hard, and it starts easy, which is why people stop at 7 and never change. The last 3 of the entire session, everything else is a fee. That's true of most things, honestly, not just things. Rep 8 is where the argument starts in your head. Rep 9 is where you answer it one way or the other. That's the whole workout. 2 seconds, everything else is set up. 11 years and I still have had the argument, and every single time never gets quieter. I just stop listening to the outcome. The answer's already decided before I lie down. 6 easy, 7 fine, 8 loud. 9 is where it actually starts. Not a grind and not a war, just 2 seconds that decide. Rap after rap, and only the last ones count. Everything before it is the price of admission. Nobody grows on the easy ones, and everybody stops their base in the bench frame, shaking with the load. Get through 6 to earn the right to do 9. That's the only math in here. Some thumbs slow with the bar coming down, low and steady, gaining ground. Feel rep 9, turn it around. Coach told me at 24 and I didn't believe him. Said you're doing 6 sets of transport and no work. He was completely right, I was in the gym constantly. Nothing changed for 2 years, nothing hard happened. Changed the last 3 reps and everything moved in 4 months. Same hours, same days, 3 reps, that's it. And if you've been putting in the time and getting nothing, check whether you're stopping right before the part that works. Most people are, it's not laziness, it's that 8 feels like the end. 8 is the beginning, 9 is the whole session. 2, 3 more, that's the entire program. Rep then another and the last 3 did it. Everything I built came from about 2 seconds into set. Nobody counts the easy ones and everybody does them. Bass beneath the rack, low and relentless. 6 are alright, 9 to change then rack it. That's the only work that's real. Rep 9 again tomorrow. Same argument, same answer. Same 4 songs for 3 weeks, I'm not sorry about it. People find it strange the way I listen to music. I don't explore, I find one thing and I run it into the ground. Same album on the drive for a month, then another month. Everybody's got a discovery habit and I've got the opposite. I wanna know a thing completely that takes repetition. 40 listens in and it starts opening up. That's when it begins. There's a whole layer in the song you cannot hear first. It's underneath and it takes about 20 passes the surface. Everybody who's ever loved the record found that layer, and the only way in is playing it more times than is reasonable. So I do that on purpose for weeks, same 4 songs, and I never need to hear them again, and they're mine forever. Same track, same drive, again. Nothing about it wearing out, not a habit, not a rut, just a thing I'm getting into. Heavy rotation, same 4 songs for 3 weeks. Everything that opens up in music opens up on the 40th pass. Nobody hears the bottom layer on the first listen. Bass in the speakers deeper every time. Run it into ground until it's actually yours. That's the only way I listen. it honestly, but she can't sing any of them, and I can sing all of mine. Different relationship with the same object entirely. Neither of us is wrong, but I know mine. And if there's a song you like, but you've only played it twice, you don't like it yet, you like the outside in. Put it on tomorrow and the next day and the day after round 15, it gets boring. Push past 15, around 40, it becomes something else entirely. Go find that. Rotation gone heavy, 3 weeks and counting. Everything underneath this track has come up to the surface. Nobody else had heard of this way, and that's the point. Bass beneath the dashboard, familiar and used. Same 4 songs until they're part of the furniture. That's the only listening is buzz. 3 weeks, 4-1 starts some more. Same 4s until they're part of the furniture. Minutes in the parking lot. This is the actual hard part. Cars off, gym's right there, and I have not moved in 9 minutes. This happens about twice a week, and it's never about the workout. It's about the transition, which nobody talks about at all. Going from one version of yourself to another takes a minute. Some days it takes 9. Some days it takes 15. Then I get out. I always get out. But it takes what it takes. People think discipline is the set. It isn't, it's the door handle. Once I'm inside, I've never once left early in 11 years. Not once. The building does the rest of the work. So the entire battle is a car door. And about 100 feet, that's a much smaller problem than get in shape. Shrink it to the door handle. That's the whole method. Engine off, hand on the handle. Nothing about it feeling ready. Not a mood and not a surge. Just 100 feet of walking. Pre-workout and the workout isn't the problem. Everything that stops me happens before on the door. Nobody quits inside a gym. They quit inside a car. Bass in the parking lot, humming in the dark. Open the door and walk 100 feet. That's the only decision I have to make. Sub hums low through a windshield at 6. Low and waiting on the choice to fix. Feel the whole hour hang on Sat there 22 minutes on a Wednesday in February. Worst one I can remember. Then that happened, I was just done. Got out at 23, did it the worst session of the year. It counted exactly the same as the good ones on the calendar. That's the part nobody says. The bad ones count identically. The calendar can't tell the difference. Neither can your body. And if you're sitting in a car outside something right now, stop negotiating with the whole hour. Negotiate with the door. You don't have to want it and you don't have to be ready. Just move 100 feet. The building handles the rest. That's the entire trick. There isn't another one. Work Sitting in the dark. Everything difficult about tonight is happening right here. Nobody sees the 15 minutes and they're the whole thing. Bass beneath the floor mats. Low and patient. Hands on the handle, 100 feet, and then it's easy. That's the only better life. Got out at 14 minutes. Didn't feel like it went anyway. Oh, yeah. Everybody in here is fighting something nobody knows about. Woman on the treadmill has been coming since January. She's not training for anything, she's holding something up. Guy in the corner lost about 80 pounds in 2 years. Nobody in this building has ever congratulated him. That's the etiquette and it's correct, and he prefers kid at some point. Doors open, music, calm, nobody talks. Everybody carrying something different. Not a team and not a crowd. Just a room where people show up. Gym anthem playing for nobody in particular. Everybody in this room is here for a different reason. Nobody's asking and nobody has to explain. Facing the mirrors, running through the walls. Show up, do the work and not on the way out. That's the only membership that counts. Top rows low through the whole floor. Low and thumping at the front door. Feel it lift the room some more. Manager put up a sign last year about a community. We all ignored it and the community was already here. It's just not the kind you sign up for or post about. It's 40 people who recognize each other's cause. And notice when somebody stops coming for 3 weeks. Nobody says anything, but we notice every time. And if you're standing outside a gym you haven't gone into, nobody in there is looking at you. I promise you that they're all managing something and they're all slightly tired. Walk in, do one thing badly, and then leave. Come back Thursday, that's how it starts for everybody. Anthem for a gym at 6 in the evening. Everybody here is a person you never guess that. Nobody's performing and everybody's working. Base beneath the dumbbells, honest and low. Say 40 faces, semi for days, no announcements. That's the only team I've ever been on. Nobody said a word tonight. Everybody was there. Once a month I find out exactly where the ceiling is. Everything else in training is a maximal on purpose. 80%, 70% leave 2 in the tank. That's correct and it's how you build for 11 years. But about once a month you have to go find the edge. Not for progress, for information, to know where it is. Otherwise you're training toward a number you invented. Warm up long, ramp up slow, and then one honest attempt. No music change, no psych up routine, no shouting. Just a bar and a number I haven't done before. 60% of the time it goes and I learn something. 40% it doesn't and learn something better. The miss is more useful. Nobody wants to hear that. One attempt, real number, no hype. Nothing about but performative, not a test of character, just a measurement I have to take. Max effort, once a month, one honest try. Everything I've been guessing at gets settled in 9 seconds. Nobody needs to watch and I don't tell anyone the number. Basing the platform heavy and true. Ramp it up and take one real attempt. That's the only data I lost. Subtract slow when the bar leaves the ground. Low and honest, nothing around. Feel the whole ceiling getting found. Missed it in June and I sat on a bench for 4 minutes. Wasn't upset, was recalculating different thing entirely. Adjusted the whole program off that one miss. Hit it in September by 10 pounds more than I planned. The miss in June is why September worked directly. Nobody frames it that way and it's the whole mechanism. And if you've been avoiding finding out where your limit is, then not knowing is costing you more than the number one. Go take one honest attempt at whatever it is. You'll probably miss that's the useful outcome anyway. Then you'll know, and knowing is the entire high. Effort at max 90 minutes, no phone for movements. That's the whole session. I don't do circuits and I don't do variety and I don't do fun for movements done heavy in the same order every week. People find that grim and I find it enormously relaxing. There's no decision to make once I'm in the building. Everything's already decided. That's the actual luxury. The gym is the one place in my week with no choices in it. Every other hour of my day is decision constantly all day. What to prioritize, who to answer, what to cut, what to defer. Then I come in here and a piece of paper tells me exactly what to do, and I do it. And there's no judgment involved at any point. That's not discipline, that's a vacation from being the decider. That's why I've never missed a week in 11 years. Four lists, same order, no thinking, nothing to decide in here. Not a program, not a plan, just a page that runs the hour. Our session, 90 minutes, no decisions. Everything in my life needs a judgment. Except this, nobody's asking my opinion, and the paper knows the answer. Base in the plates, bringing off the rack. Four movements, same order. And then go home. That's the only rest I get. Sub grinds low with the bar in hand. Low and steady, nothing planned. Feel the whole hour, take command. Command. Guy asked me last month if I get bored of the same four. Said he switches every 6 weeks to keep it interesting. And he's been the same size for 4 years, which I didn't say. Boredom is the price of progress in almost everything. Interest isn't usually just a word for avoiding the boring part. I'm bored constantly in here. It's working perfectly. And if you're changing your program because you're bored with it, boredom isn't a signal that it stopped working. It's the opposite. Boring means you've done it long enough for it to start. Interesting means you're still in the beginner phase forever. Stay bored. Boredom is where the results live. Session in everything in my life needs a judgment. Except this, nobody's asking my opinion, and the paper knows the answer. Base in the plates, ringing off the rack. Four movements, same old way. Every single week. That's the only quiet. Same four. Next Tuesday, nothing to think about. Nobody works 8 hours. Let's just be honest about that. There's an hour in there that produces almost everything. 7 hours of email meetings and being available offline at 9 in the morning. Unoffended, violently, no meetings, no calls or messages or a close phone away. Everything I made in 6 years came out of that hour. Tragedy is that most people give their hour away. It gets booked because it looks like an open slot on a calendar, and nobody knows it's their hour because they never tracked it. Track it for a month, you'll find it. It's always the same time. Then move everything else around it like it's a low-bearing wall, because it is. It's the only low-bearing hour you have. Not a 10 door shut, phone gone, nothing on the calendar can touch it. Not a preference and not a habit, just the hour that does the work. Power hour, and everything else is scheduling. Everything I actually produce happens between 9 and 10. Nobody knows which hour is theirs, and everybody has one. Based in the office floor, tight and quick, find a guard it and never book over it. That's the only calendar rule I have. Sub hums low through a closed door, low and steady, giving more. Feel the whole day fine. It's cool. Boss booked over it in March twice, and I'm on both meetings. Politely with the reason that wasn't the real reason. Every time I told him the real reason, and he was fired. They said he has one at 4, and he's never told anybody. Either the two of us, same company, never discussed both defending it. There are probably none of us, nobody talks about it. And if you're the same time nearly every day. Then go put a permanent block on it and never explain it. Body will fight you. Everybody's protecting one too. Everything else. That's the only productivity system I've kept. 9 o'clock tomorrow, door closed, same as always. Always, 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 always. There's a version of me that only shows up under a heavy bar, heavy bar. 9 hours at a desk, being reasonable and polite, saying yes to things I don't agree with, smiling at a screen. Then I walk in here at 6 and I stop being that guy. Nobody in this room needs me to be agreeable. The weight doesn't care how my meeting went. That's the whole appeal. It's the only honest hour. Chalk on the hands, phone in the locker, headphones in. Same 4 exercises I've done for 11 years. Boring up because boring on the boring brain is what actually works. Everybody looking for a new program is avoiding the old one. I'm not strong because I found something clever. I'm strong because I did the same thing for 11 years. Bar loaded, breathe in, brace hard. Complicated happening here. Not a mindset, not a speech. Just a man about to move some weight. Beast mode, and it only lasts an hour. Everything I swallowed all day comes out under the bar. Nobody in this room is asking me to be nice. Space in the rubber floor, heavy and mean. Load it up and put it down and load it up again. That's the only therapy I trust. Sub drop slow when the plates hit the floor. Low and shaking through the whole gym door. Feel it in your chest and go for more. Guy on the next track, nodded at my last set. That's the entire social contract in here and it's enough. Nobody knows what I do for work and nobody has best community I got. And we've never had a conversation. 1 out of 7 complete. Empty, emptied out. I'm polite again, but I emptied it out. And if you've been carrying a weight that you can't put down, there's a room full of heavy objects about a mile from you. You don't need a program and you don't need to be strong. Pick something up, put it down, do it again. It works. Nobody knows why it just works. Mode set to beast, running until 7. Everything I couldn't say today is stacked on this bar. Nobody's watching and the weight doesn't lie. Base beneath the platform, hard and low. 1 more set and then I'll be a person again. That's the only hour I need. That's the only hour I need. That version of me went back in the locker. See you tomorrow. At 9 because leaving at 9 means arriving before the traffic, which is a lie. I tell myself I'll leave at 9 because I like this. Empty interstate cruise set, nothing on the radio worth having, just the engine and the lane markers and the occasional truck. Trucks are the only company at this hour, and the good company. Everybody out here at 1 in the morning is a specific fraternity to it. That daytime driving doesn't have got flashes. His lights to let you back in and you flash back. Nobody's aggressive at 1 in the morning. Nobody's late, everybody's just moving something across the state in the dark. Daytime driving is a competition, and this is a convoy. Same road, completely different society, 12-hour apart. Cruise set, lanes empty, dark ahead, nothing to react to for an hour. Not a rush and not a halt, just 400 miles of quiet. Midnight highway, and the whole state is asleep. Everything I've got to work out, got 4 hours for. Nobody's out here except the people moving freight. Bass in the chassis, humming with the road. Cruise it steady, and then the miles do the thinking. That's the only interstate I like. Sub hums low with the tires drawn low and steady on my own. Feel the whole state turn to stone. Stopped at a plaza, 2 and there were 4 cars in the lot. Everybody nodded at each other in the way people do it too. Guy in a work truck, woman with a dog, kid driving home from something. Nobody talked, everybody nodded, bought coffee, went back out. That's the whole culture of that hour, and I look forward to it. 4 strangers agreeing that being awake is the correct choice. And if you've gotta drive, it's 4 hours or more ahead of you. Consider doing it at night instead of leaving in the morning. It's a completely different road with a completely different set of people. Sleep matters, and I'm not telling you to be reckless about it, but if you're rested, go at 9. It's a better version of the highway at midnight, 400 miles on the body. Everything the daytime version of this is, it isn't tonight. Nobody's racing, and the trucks let each other in. Bass beneath the seat frame, steady and fast. 4 hours of dark, and then a motel and a sleep. That's the only drive I'd volunteer for. Pulled in at 3:15, best 4 hours of the week. Anybody can be impressive for a week. This is about 11 years. 7 years. There's a whole culture built around intensity and transformation. 30-day challenges, 6-week programs, before and after photos, and almost none of it survives contact with an ordinary February. The people who are actually in shape at 50 didn't do challenges. They did something moderate for 2 decades without stopping. That's the least marketable advice in the world, and it's the only one. I've watched about 40 people start harder than me and quit, not because they were weak, because they started at an unsustainable pace, and the body is fine with that for 11 weeks, and then it isn't. Whereas I've been doing something slightly too easy since 2013, and I've never stopped, so the total is enormous. Total volume beats peak intensity over any time frame that matters. Small dose, long line, no drama. Nothing about it looking like effort. Not a challenge, not a push. Just a decade of not stopping. Long distance, and the distance is the years. Everything impressive burns out in about 11 weeks. Nobody's watching year 6, and year 6 is the whole thing. Based on the whole decade, patient and low, do slightly less than you can and never miss a month. That's the only program that works. Sub hum slow across 100 weeks. Slow and steady, never peak. Feel the total, do what the peak can. My father ran 3 miles every other day from 40 to 76. Never raced, never tracked it, never talked about it once. Outlived every friend he had who took a marathon to 50. Correlation isn't casual, and I know that, and I think about it constantly. He wasn't disciplined, he just never made it a project. Projects and ends. That's the actual difference. And if you're about to start something at an ambitious level, cut it in half, then cut it in half again. Then never stop. You'll be angry about how easy it is for about 3 months. Then you'll be 4 years in, which almost nobody ever is. Easy and forever beats hard, and until March every single time. Distance gone long, measured in the decade. Everything I did too easily is the reason I'm still here. Nobody's impressed by moderate, moderate is the answer. Base beneath the whole 11 years. Warm and low, half of what you can do, done forever. That's the only intensity I trust. That's the only intensity I trust. 11 years of slightly too easy. Still going. Somebody has to decide how fast it's going. Might as well be me. Yeah, yeah. Group run, 11 people and nobody wants to leave the first mile. Everybody drifts and the pace goes up and down like a bad conversation. So I go to the front and I hold a number and I don't move off it. Not because I'm the fastest, I'm 6th fastest in that group. Because somebody has to be boring, inconsistent for everyone else. That's a rule and it's undervalued. And it's the one I'm good at. Same thing at work, honestly, and I only noticed the parallel last year. I'm not the smartest person on my team, not close, not even top 3. But I set the tempo, and the tempo is what makes the smart people useful. Without a pace, the talent just surges and stalls and burns out by June. Nobody thanks the pace setter, and everybody needs one. It's the least glamorous job in any group, and it holds the group together. Front of the pack, same number, no drift. Nothing about it requiring talent. Not a leader and not a hero, just somebody holding a rhythm. Pace setter, hold a number nobody chose. Everything behind me runs better because it's steady. Nobody's watching me and everybody's using me. Facing the towpath even in constant. Hold a number for 11 miles and don't drift. That's the only job I take. Sub rolls low with an unchanged stride. Low and steady, side by side. Feel the whole group finally glide. Kid in the group asked me last month how I don't get bored up there. Told him the truth, which is that it's the most interesting position. You can feel the entire group through your back without looking. You know who's struggling and who's fresh and when to ease off. Nobody else in the pack has that information. Only the front is the best seat in the group, and it looks like the worst. And if you're in a group of any kind that keeps surging and stalling, somebody needs to hold a boring number, and it's probably you. You don't have to be the best, you have to be the most consistent. That's a different skill and almost nobody's competing for it. Take the front, hold the pace, everything behind you improves. Center of the pace, 11 miles unchanged. Everything the group did well today came off a steady. Nobody thanked me and the whole run held together. Base beneath the gravel, patient and low. Same number, no surges, no drift, no ego. That's the only leadership I understand. La 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 yeah. Yeah. La 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 yeah. 11 miles, same pace. Everybody finished good. It's real, it's rare, and you cannot summon it. I've tried for years. Happens maybe 4 times a year for me out of 200 runs. No pattern I've ever identified, not distance, not weather, not sleep, it just arrives. Usually somewhere in the second half without warning. Everything gets easy in a way that's almost suspicious. Same pace, same effort, completely different experience of it. Lasts about 11 minutes, then it's gone and it doesn't come back. Is the problem, I spent 2 years chasing it. Ran longer, ran harder, ran in the cold, ran on no sleep. Never once produced it, not one time in 2 years of trying. Then I stopped trying and it showed up in March on an easy Tuesday. 4 miles, nothing special, no reason for it at all. That's the whole nature of the thing, it comes when it comes. No pattern, no trigger, no method, nothing about it reproducible. Not a reward and not a stay, just 11 minutes that arrive. Runners high 4 times a year and honored. Everything gets easy for 11 minutes and then it stops. Nobody's found the trigger and everybody's looking. Bass in my headphones bright and open. Run 200 times and get 4 of these. That's the only lottery I play. Yeah, 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 yeah. Slow with the light and stride, low and floating, open wide. Feel the whole thing turn the tide. Got one in April on the worst possible day to get 1-9 in the morning. Tired on a route I don't even like, and for about 12 minutes I was 22 years old again. Then it was gone and I ran the last 2 miles like a normal man. I'd have traded every good run that year for that 12 minutes. And you can't trade, that's the whole design of it. And you'd be running for a year and never had one. You will, it doesn't correlate with fitness or with effort. It correlates with volume of attempts and that's it. Keep going out, it shows up eventually, and you can't hurry it. That's the only advice anybody honest can give you. High for under 11 minutes long, everything I chase for 2 years arrived when I stopped. Nobody controls it and everybody wants to place beneath the pavement. Weightless and warm, 200 runs to buy 4 of these. That's the only price there is. 12 minutes in April. Still thinking about it in August. That's the entire session. 12 minutes of actual work and it destroys me more than an hour. That ratio still doesn't make sense to me after 4 years. The math says it should be easy, the body disagrees violently. Round 3 is where the honesty starts and round 6 is where it ends. Round 7 and 8 are somebody else finishing the record. I have no memory of them, I just have the watch data. Hey, everybody who tries this quits somewhere in round 5. It's not that it's hard, it's that it's hard in an unfamiliar way. Long runs hurt slowly and this hurts immediately and completely. There's no pacing available, no strategy, nothing to manage. That's why it works and that's why almost nobody does it twice. It's the least enjoyable, useful thing I've ever found. 30 on, 90 off again. Nothing afterward. Last Tuesday, Jen, you and Lee could not stand up, and there was nobody around. Old man walked past with the dog and asked if I was fine. Said yes from the ground, which he felt funny correctly. He said intervals, and I said yes, and he laughed and laughed. Everybody who's done them recognizes a man on his back. And if you've got 20 minutes and nothing else this week, this is the highest return per minute available to a human. It's also miserable, and I want to be honest about that. 8 rounds, 12 minutes of work, you'll hate all of it. Then you'll be fitter in 3 weeks than 6 months of jogging. Interest finished on my back. Everything that fits in 12 minutes just happened to me. Nobody enjoyed this, and it's the most efficient thing there is. Bass beneath the infield grass, ringing in my ears. 8 rounds, no pacing, no strategy, no mercy. That's the only 12 minutes that counts. 6 minutes on the ground, worth it. Same again, Thursday. Guardian stuck in insertion. 10 and 9 and D streets, and the whole city belongs to about 9 of us. Same route 4 nights a week, and I've never seen it in daylight. There's a version of this neighborhood that only exists after 9. Different sounds, different smells, completely different air temperature. The bakery starts at 11 and you can smell it from 2 blocks. Nobody runs in the morning, has any idea that's happening. It's a whole second city, and it's mostly empty. I know the other regulars by the gate, and they're a flag again. Never spoken to any of them. We not, that's about it. There's a woman who does the reverse of my loop, and we pass twice a night, 4 nights a week for about 3 years. I know it's immediately if she stops, I worry I never know why. That's a real relationship built entirely out of nodding. Shoes on 10 o'clock, cold air, nothing scheduled after this. Not an escape and not a chore, just the version of the city that's mine. Night runner, out when everybody's finished. Everything about this route is different after 9. Nobody's out here, and the ones who I don't talk. Bass in my headphones, steady with my feet. Stay loose, stay loud, stay not strangers. That's the only city I know well. Some thumps low with a steady stride, low and matching side to side. Feel the empty streets provide. People ask if it's safe, and I thought about it honestly. It's a fair question, and the answer depends entirely on where. For me here it's fine, and I made specific choices about the route. Lit streets, no headphones in the tunnel, phone with somebody that's not paranoia. That's just the cost of the hour, and the hour's worth the cost. That's my honest math. And if the only time you have is late, and you keep skipping it, late is a real option. It's not a compromise, it's a different thing. The night version of your neighborhood is a place you've never been. Plan the route properly, tell somebody and go look at it. It's completely different out there. Go see it. Running at night, finishing at 11. Everything I've seen out here, the daytime never gets. Nobody's awake, and the bakery smells like morning. Bass beneath the sidewalk, low and constant. Stay loose, 4 nights in the city. Stays quiet, that's the only route I need. Passed her twice again tonight, not did twice, 3 years now. That phrase is a lie, and I want to explain what it actually means. Nobody trains 7 days a week for 11 years. Nobody. The people who say no days off take days off. All of them. What they mean is the identity doesn't get days off. The training does, the body absolutely requires it. But the person doesn't stop being a person who trains. That's the Those two facts are completely compatible and most people miss it. A day off is scheduled up, this week is a decision to stop. Rest is inside the program, quitting is outside of it. Confusion between the two has ended, more training than injury. Nobody quits after a good session, everybody quits after a Tuesday off. A day off, still the same person, nothing about it ready. A break in identity, not a lapse and not a slide, just a Tuesday inside the plan. No days off from being the person who does this. Everything I skip is scheduled, and everything's scheduled I keep. No, nobody trains every day, and everybody thinks they should. Facing the floor, patient and low, take the day, keep the identity, come back Thursday. That's the only streak that matters. Somehow slow on an empty Tuesday, low and resting, still in play. Feel the whole week hold its way. Miss 9 days of March with the chest infection, genuinely sick. Never once considered that I'd stopped, which is the whole thing. Came back on the 10th day at about 60% full strength by April. Nothing lost, nothing at all. 10 years ago, that 9 days would have become 9 months, because I'd have decided I'd broken something nothing broke. And if you missed a week and you're deciding whether you've quit, you haven't, you missed a week. Those are completely different. The people who train for decades all miss weeks, all of them. The difference is they never decide the missing meant anything. Go Thursday, 60% is fine. Nothing broke. Days off plenty and the identity never moves. Everything I missed was scheduled or was illness. Nobody's asking for perfect, and perfect isn't the mechanism based beneath the whole decade, steady and long. Rest inside the plan and never leave the plan. That's the only consistency I've got. 9 days in March, back on the 10th. That's the whole story. Everybody's fine, I say. There's nothing left to fake with. First set, you got the whole session ahead of you to be brave. Third set, you're managing something, doing math on what's left. Last set, there's no strategy available and no reserve. Whatever you actually have is what shows up in that set. I've learned more about people watching their last set than I ever learned about them in a conversation. Some guys go big on the last one because it's the last one. Some guys shave 10% off and tell themselves it's smart. Both are in for this and neither is a moral failing. I've done both in different years and I know which years goes well. The years I shaved were years I was struggling elsewhere. The body tells on you it's the least discreet thing you owe. Nothing after this, no saving. Everything I've got is here. Not a strategy and not a plan, just whatever's actually left. Last set, and there's nothing behind it to protect. Everything I held back all session comes out right now. Nobody paces the last one, everybody knows it. Facing the barbell, ringing it at the top, empty the whole tank because there's nothing after. That's the only honesty in here. Sub crashes low when the bar comes down low and final. Nothing around, feel the whole hour hit the ground. Trained with the same guy for 6 years and we never spoke much, but I could tell exactly how his month was from his last set. He could tell mine and neither of us ever said a word. When his father was sick, he went bigger for 4 months straight. That's not a coping mechanism I'd recommend, recovery is real and it matters. But notice the pattern, notice which months you're shaving. It's rarely about the gym, it's almost never about the gym. The last set is a readout, read it honestly. Said that was the last one, finished and wrapped everything I had today. I put on that bar, nobody pays since the end, and nobody should. Face beneath the platform, spent in love. No reserve, no pacing, nothing after that. That's the only set that tells the truth. Racked it and sat down for 4 minutes, good session. Miles, the interesting starts at 11. The first 6 are just logistics, getting the body online. 7 through 10 are the pleasant part and they're forgettable. 11 is where something changes and the run becomes a different thing. Not harder, exactly deeper, the chatter in the head goes quiet. Everybody who runs long knows this and nobody can describe it. I've tried about 9 times, this is the closest I've gotten. Whoa. I'm not thinking in sentences anymore. Just images and old memories showing up in no order. Somebody I haven't thought about in 20 years. Then a kitchen, then nothing at all for about a mile, which is the good part. Whatever that state is, that's the actual reason to this. My 11, the noise stops. Everything goes quiet in there. Not a high and not a low, just a place to head go. Mile after mile and the good part starts at 11. Everything before that is the fee I pay to get there. Nobody runs 16 for the fitness, whatever they say. Facing the towpath, riffing in and low, get through the first 10 to earn the last 8. That's the only reason I go low. Sub roll low with the rhythm that stays low and steady through the haze. Feel the whole head lose its way. Solved the problem at mile 14 last October that I carried for months. Not by thinking about it, I wasn't thinking about anything. It just arrived fully formed somewhere around a bridge. That's happened maybe 6 times in 11 years of doing this. 6 sentences for a few thousand miles is a terrible exchange rate, and I run all of them again for any one of the 6. And if you've only ever run short, there's a thing you haven't met. It lasts past mile 10 and it doesn't show up any earlier. Doesn't matter how fast you go, only how long we'll get through it. Slowly over months and bed right now. It's not fitness, it's a room in your head. You can't otherwise enter. After mile, the quiet finally arrives. Everything I couldn't solve at a desk got solved near bridge. Nobody can explain it, and everybody who's been there knows. Space beneath the gravel, steady and long. 10 miles to pay the fee, and 6 miles of the room. That's the only trade I made. 16 today. The room was open, good run. Sing today, the room was open, good run. You take the long way through downtown and it costs 11 minutes and it's worth it. The efficient route home is the bypass and it takes 22 minutes. The route through the middle of downtown takes 33. I take the long one about 4 nights a week, and I always have, not for any reason I could defend in a conversation. town slow. Nothing about it efficient. Not a detour, not a waste. Just 11 minutes of a city lights drive, taking the long way home. Everything I'm carrying out of the office gets left downtown. Nobody optimizes for arriving as a person. Facing the door panels, warm and slow. 11 extra minutes through the middle of the lights. That's the only commute that works. Sub rolls low past a glass tower, low and easy that hour. Feel the whole day lose its power. There's a stretch on 4th where the buildings line up perfectly. Maybe 9 seconds of it and the whole street glows at the end. I've driven through the 9 seconds probably 2,000 times. Still look at it still 2,000 times and I still look. That's the return on 11 minutes and absurdly good. 9 seconds of a street 4 times a week for 6 years. And if your commute is optimized down to the last minute, you've optimized the wrong variable. Nobody's paying you for those minutes. Find a longer way home, that is something worth looking at. 11 minutes to arrive as a different person is the cheapest trade available. Your family will know roses before you do. Mine did. Drive through the city lights, 33 minutes. Everything the office flowed into me comes off on 4th Street. Nobody's timing me and I gain the whole evening base. Beneath the intersection, easy and low. Long way, slow lane, 9 seconds of glow. That's the only route I take. 4th Street again tonight. Still worth it. 4th Street again tonight. Still worth it. I signed it in the womb. Did not know where to start it. Pen came down on a line at 11. Everybody smiling and completely uneven in their understanding of what just occurred. They thought it was a contract, it was a word that ends a whole era for about 40 people. Nobody in there heard a bell in the steeple. Some decisions look like paperwork, that's the thing. Nothing explodes and nobody has to sing about it. The bus is on a delay of a season. By March it's obvious, in November it's freezing. I'll stay quiet, I shook his hand and I meant it. Then I drove home and I quietly resented. Ink dries, the fuse gets lit. Nobody can feel a bit. Not a bang and not a shout. Just a hand and just a doubt. Detonator handshake, polite and complete. Everything about to change was decided in a seat. Nobody in the room understood the timing. Fist beneath the boardroom table, slowly climbing. Shake the whole hand, it goes off in spring. That's the only kind of thing. Sub hums low with a delay charge. Low and patient and very large. Feel the whole quarter, take the barge. Feel the whole quarter, take the barge. March came and the building rearranged. 40 people's jobs completely exchanged for something better. Actually, that was the point. Nobody thanked me and nobody could join. The handshake to the outcome, which is correct. Best work I've done, zero effect on respect. And if you made a call that nobody can see, that looks like nothing on a Tuesday at 3. The credit never comes and that's the whole job. Being the one who quietly turns the knob. Do it anyway, skip the applause and the sob. Handshake with a detonator, fell 6 months on. Everything I set in motion was completely undrawn. From any ready to any worked and it's done. Base beneath the parking garage, hot in the sun. Take the whole quiet, nobody knows my part. That's the only honest start. That's the only honest start. I signed it in March, the room found out. Some mornings you don't need coffee, you need the memory. Woke at 5 with the face in my head. Got from a meeting in a year that is dead. Now said I never run anything at all. before spring. Angry when I wake, quieter each year. Everything he handed me became a whole career. Nobody thanks a man for a wound that worked. Based beneath the alarm clock, running like a jerk. Take the whole memory, it's almost used up. That's the only bitter cut. Some mornings I don't need it anymore. Most I do. Some morning halfway through the night is the worst place on earth. On ramp short, and the traffic doing 80. Truck in the lane and a gap, that's a maybe. Two choices, commit or break completely. Middle option kills you, and it kills you neatly. Every year on this exact interchange, somebody hesitates, that's the exchange. Father taught me at 16 on this ramp, said look, decide then, be absolutely stamped onto that decision. Said hesitation is the only thing, and on a highway that has ever killed slowly. And on purpose, commit or don't but pick, then execute completely, that's the trick. Gap seen the choices made, everything is in the trade. Not a gamble, not a dare, just a foot that's fully there. Foot two through the floor. Foot to the floor, merging at the seam. Everything half committed is the actual scheme that gets you. Nobody dies from a decision. Bits beneath the home of their precision. Push the whole pedal or stop completely dead. That's the only thing he says. Sub roars low with the engines climb. Low and matching the exact time. Fill the whole lane, realign. Use it everywhere, every hard choice. Look, decide, commit, and then use the voice or the foot or the hand. Completely no hedge. And half of the wreckage I've seen was somebody edging into a thing they hadn't actually chosen. Pick it or don't, then be frozen. And if you're mid-decision on something enormous, half in, half out, and completely unfocused, that's the dangerous place. Not either side, go all the way in or completely step wide. Just don't sit in the middle and ride. Floor beneath the foot, settled in the lane. Everything I hesitated on has cost me the same. Every single time, and this one I took. Base beneath the highway, closing the book. Take the whole gap, it was always big enough. partner, a boss, a friend who's been nice. Without it, that's the last one, there is no third. They won't get louder, they'll just stop saying the word. Fix it this week, be the one who heard. Warning, that was last given in a hall. Everything that saved me was a man who was small about it. No speech, no anger, just a count. Face beneath the office floor, running the amount. Take the whole second, there is never a third. That's the only mercy. Nobody gets three, I got two when I use them. Everything else in my life will negotiate. Boss will accept an excuse if the excuse is great. My hands love the feeling in your 100 small failings. Friends will pretend not to notice the flailing. Bar won't bar, goes up or bar stays down. Cleanest relationship in this hotel. Told myself for a year that I was training hard. Numbers said otherwise, the numbers kept the card. And the cost that you were bad and nothing in another ones. Nobody else would told me that not once. That's why I keep the log. The log is a witness. Everything else in my life has kindness. Waits, it doesn't lie. Everything you can't deny. Man opinion, not a slight. Just a number, wrong or right. Barbell reckoning, honest as a stone. Everything I told myself gets taken to the bone. Out here, nobody's polite about a number. Face beneath the platform, waking me from slumber. Load the whole truth and find out where you are. That's the only honest bar. Sub crashes low with the plate set down. Low and truer than the town. Don't think there's number in the town. No and truer than the crown. Fixed it, took a program and I actually followed it instead of the thing I invented and swallowed. Intuitive training makes me doing what's fun. 80 40 pounds in a year, it's done. Bar told me the truth and I was furious and I used it. That's the whole serious. And if there's an area where everybody's kind to you, where nobody will say the flat thing that's true, find a number, a log, a scale, a clock, something that doesn't love you, take the shock. That's the only unlock lock. Reckoning at the barbell, 40 pounds on. Everything I lied about for a year is gone from the record, and the record is the only friend. Face beneath the rubber floor, honest to the end. Take the whole number, it's got nothing to clean. That's the only clean pain. The bar didn't care, that's why I trusted.